When you solve a multi-step equation, so the first thing you want to do is you're going to add or subtract. The second thing you're going to do is multiply or divide. Of course, flipping if necessary. Okay, so when we look at this one, I have negative 11y minus 13 is greater than 42. So the first thing I need to do is add 13 to both sides, which gives me negative 11y is greater than 55. I'm dividing by negative 11. So because I divided by that 11, divided by that negative, I flip. And so it's going to be negative 5. I say this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's open circle because it's less than, and I shade this way. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 20 first, which gives me 10x is greater than or equal to 20. Divide by 10. It was positive, so nothing's changing. X is greater than or equal to 2. That's 0, that's 2. It's greater than or equal, so I color this in and shade that way. Here I'm going to subtract 11. And then I'm going to get negative 4y is less than 32. Dividing by negative 4. So because I divided by negative, that changes. Negative 8. I'll call that 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm greater than negative 8, so it's open circle. And I'm shading all of this. I really should just use the highlighter, it's easier. When we talk about our inequality symbols, this is less than, or is fewer than, is greater than, is more than. We have is greater than, greater with an E, or equal to, at least, is less than, at most. So these are the most common phrases that would show these symbols. Okay, here we have 5 minus 6 times a number is more than. That's what we're going to be looking for right there, is more than. Here we have is at most. Okay, and now the difference between is more than and more than is to add, is more than tells you it's an inequality symbol. So that the addition of the word is what makes it the inequality symbol. Yeah.
So the regular is less than and is greater than is not an equality symbol. I mean, it's not like an inequality.
If you just say less than, greater than, like I could say 5 less than 12, that means 12 minus 5. But if I say 5 is less than 12, that's the inequality.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's that addition of the word is that makes it the inequality symbol rather than an operation adding or subtracting. Does that help? Okay. So I have is more than, that's just greater. And at most is going to be less than or equal to. Does that make sense? Okay. So 5 minus 6 times a number, so 5 minus 6 times a number is more than 4 times the number plus 8. We actually have to cross, so we're going to add or subtract to both sides. So our first step is still going to be add or subtract first, and then multiply or divide second.
So when we subtract the 8, we get rid of the negative.
You can either add 4x to both sides or subtract 4x to both sides. You can subtract 5 from both sides, or you can subtract 8 from both sides. It's up to you.
But I add 6x.
I like to add, or I like to move my variables to the same side first.
Yeah.
So do you want to add 6x to both sides or subtract 4x from both sides?
Add 6x and positive.
Okay. We've got a request for a positive. Now you don't have to. You can do the numbers first. But I have 10x plus 8. Then I'm going to subtract 8. Now on this one I no longer have a choice because I did the variable first. I had to do the number second. That's going to bring me up here to negative 3 is greater than 10x. And again, I didn't flip anything because I was only adding and subtracting. I didn't divide or multiply by negative. If I divide by 10, I'm dividing by a positive, so nothing is going to change. 3 doesn't divide by 10, so I'm going to do negative 3/10 is greater than x. Now, do you want to see what would have happened if we did the other way?
No,
Okay.
I can foresee that. I just
It's a matter of preference, which one you want to move to which side and which one you want to move first. It's once you've moved the first one, though, then you don't have a choice. Because if I had moved the 8 first, if I had subtracted 8 from both sides, then I can only move the 6x to the other side now. But on that first step, you have a choice usually. Yeah.
And you didn't flip the sign because what you were dividing by isn't a negative.
Right, I was dividing by a positive 10, right? I added 6, I subtracted 8, but I'm subtracting, I'm not dividing there. So adding and subtracting doesn't change anything. It's only multiplying and dividing by that negative. So because I divided by this positive 10, I don't flip anything.
How did it become a positive 10? Because I put the, I switched the sides.
Did you subtract 4x from both sides?
No, what I did was I sent the 4x to the other side, it became a negative.
It became a negative 10, and then you sent the 5 to the other side from that.
And it became a negative 5.
And then you divided by negative 10. You should still have your arrow pointing at the x, only your x is going to be in front like that.
Okay.
Is this what yours looks like?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so what happened is because you ended up with a negative 10, it causes you to flip the sign. And but the arrow is going to still be pointing at the x.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I got.
So there's no reason why you would do your variance.
Okay, so here we've got 2 more than half a number. See, now this more than doesn't have that word is on it. So this is what I was talking about. This is 2 plus. So this is more than, that makes it the inequality symbol. This is just more than, which makes it plus. It's a subtle difference. The only difference is the addition of a 2-letter word.
So it's not half a number plus 2.
Yeah, that's fine too. Same thing.
Because it's like, when you say 2 more than, usually it's like half a number plus
2 plus x over 2 and x over 2 plus 2 are the same thing.
Okay.
So how it's preference again. Addition is commutative, which means 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2, so it doesn't really matter what order we write it in. So do you like the 2 on the back end better?
In front of the x too, because it's just
You
used to seeing that.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
For some reason
it looks better for you. That's totally fine. Okay, at most, that's that less than or equal to, and then it's at most 27. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, which is going to make we have x over 2 is less than or equal to 25. Okay, it didn't change anything again because I was subtracting, not dividing or multiplying. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by positive 2. So because it's a positive 2, it's not going to change anything. And I get x is less than or equal to 50. A standard equation, when you get this parenthesis, you have to distribute first. And then you collect like terms on either side. And I'm just going to put a less than because I'm just going to say on either side of whatever inequality symbol there is, but I'm just going to say a less than because I don't want to draw all of them. And then you're going to add or subtract, and then you're going to multiply or divide. So same steps as if we were solving 4 times 3t minus 5 plus 7 equals 8t plus 3. So the same steps, just without the equal. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to distribute that 4 in. And I get 12t minus 20 plus 7 is greater than 8t plus 3. The second thing I want to do, again, is to collect like terms on either side. Over here, I have this negative 20 and the 7. On this side, I don't have anything I can't do anything to it yet. A little bit more. Okay, so 12t minus 13 is greater than 8t plus 3. So far, okay? All right. Now I'm going to add or subtract. Do you want to subtract 8t first, or 3, or 13, or which would you like to move first? You want to add 13 first? Okay. And I get 12t is greater than 8t plus 16. Now that I added the 13 first, I have to move the 18 next. I don't really have a choice at that point. So I get 4t is greater than 16. 4t divided by 4, and t is greater than 4. Here's 0, here's 4. I'm switching to the highlighter because it's easier, and t is greater than it. Distributed that 6 to get 30z minus 18 is less than or equal to 36z. I have to subtract 30z from both sides. I don't really have a choice. And I get negative 18 is less than or equal to 6z. Divide by 6. And I get negative 3 is less than or equal to z. And if you like to have the letter in front, you can do that. Just remember that the arrow pointed at negative 3 here, so it has to point at negative 3 here. And we'll put a 0, we'll put a 3 that's negative. It's going to be a closed in circle. Yeah. Question?
No, I was like,
Oh.
showing you which way to go.
Oh,
Just
yeah, that I wasn't paying attention. Which way? This way?
shade that way, yeah.
Ta-da!
Just interrupting without even realizing.
That's good. Okay. If we have distribution on both sides, we distribute on both sides. Don't forget though, if that's negative, the negative comes in with it. So I get 2h plus 6 is greater than negative 24.
No.
12.
Well,
Thank you. I did that on purpose to see if you were paying attention. Negative 24 plus 3h.
didn't we add 24?
Yeah, you want to add 24 to both sides?
Yeah, keep everything positive.
Sure thing. We add 24 to both sides. I get 2h plus 36 is greater than 3h. Subtract 2h. And I get 36 is greater than h, which is the same thing as saying h is less than 36. And so I'm going to put a 0, and I'm going to say this is 36. I'm going to have an open circle because it's just a less than, and then I shade left or right. The empty set and all roots. Roots is just a mathematical term for solutions. Okay? And your solutions create a set. It's called the solution set. Sometimes there's one solution in the set, like in an equation, oftentimes only has one solution. But then you have absolute value where you get two solutions, so your solution set has two. The solution set of an inequality is an infinite number because it's every number under or over a certain number. So they create a solution set. You can end up with the empty set, and what happens is when you have an empty set, there are no solutions. So your solution set is empty. So that's all that means. Okay, the symbol for this is a 0 with a line through it. This is not 0, this is the empty set, also called the null set. Okay, so empty set and null set, no solutions. These three terms are interchangeable, and this is the symbol for it. Now, here's how this happens. I'm going to solve this. I'm going to take this -5, I'm going to multiply it in, I'm going to take this 4, I'm going to multiply that in, and I'm going to get 9t minus 5t plus 25 is less than or equal to 4t minus 12. And then I have like terms. I'm going to combine those. 4t plus 25 is less than or equal to 4t minus 12. And I like to move my t's first, so I'm going to move my t's first. 4t minus 4t, oh, my t's went away, okay. 25 is less than or equal to -12. Nope. Yeah.
What I got was 37 is less than or equal to nothing. Because
that's also possible if you moved your variables first or second, if you moved your numbers first.
So that's
No matter how you solve this, you are going to get a false statement. Okay, the way you solved it, you got 0 or 37 was greater than or equal to 0. Or sorry, less than or equal to 0, right? 37 less than or equal to 0, also false, right? 37 less than 0? Nope. If you get a false statement, that means you have no solutions. So you can write no solutions, or you can make this symbol, or you can write empty set with an S, not with a Y. Empty set. You can, just so long as I know you know that there are no solutions.
So there's nothing, you don't have to do anything about number line, just put a big X over it.
You just leave it alone. Now, you cannot just give me this, though. I mean, you can get here and this will give you partial credit, but this is not the answer. The answer is one of these.
So what if we come up with that and say that 25 is a negative?
Then we get what's called all roots. So I'll show you that next. Any questions on the empty? We're just chugging along. We're solving our math problems, and we distribute that 3, and we distribute this 6, and That gives me 12m plus 18 is greater than or equal to 42 plus 12m minus 24. And I've got 42 and 24 are like terms. So I get 12m plus 18 is greater than or equal to 12m plus, what's 42 minus 4? So 18. And then, like I said, I personally like to move the variables first. You don't have to. And I get 18 is greater than or equal to 18. This is true because of the equal part. Okay, now if it had been 18 is greater than 18, that would be false. Okay, it's only the equal part that makes it true. If it is true, I have all roots, all real numbers, all solutions. These, you could write any of these answers. And how would you make your graph? Every number gets shaded.